If you're looking for a laptop that can actually keep up with those marathon gaming sessions without turning your bedroom into a furnace, and you also need something that feels comfortable to carry around the house or to a coffee shop, you've probably already felt the sting of indecision. You're not just scrolling a massive spec sheet, you want confidence that the machine won't let you down when the stakes are high. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The HP OmniBook X Flip AI-powered 2-in-1 is marketed as a Copilot Plus device, which sounds high-tech, but the real question is whether it delivers a solid, everyday gaming experience without demanding a desktop-style power outlet and without constantly yelling at you with fan noise. Let's start with the basics that actually matter when you press play. The OmniBook X flips between a laptop and a tablet, and its 16-inch IPS WUXGA screen, 19201200, is the first thing you'll notice. The extra vertical pixels give a bit more room for HUD elements in games that usually squish everything into a 1080p box, and the IPS panel still manages decent color accuracy for the price range. It's not a 144Hz panel, so you won't see the buttery smoothness of a high-end gaming monitor, but at 60Hz the experience is perfectly serviceable for most current titles, especially when you pair it with the 15th Gen Ultra 7258V processor that can turbo up to 4.8 GHz. In practice, you'll find titles like *Fortnite* or *Valorant* hitting around 7080 frames per second on medium settings, which is smooth enough not to feel choppy, while more demanding games like *Elden Ring* will settle in the 4555 frames per second range on low to medium presets. That's a realistic sweet spot for gamers who want decent performance without buying a dedicated desktop rig. Heat is a concern you'll hear in every forum thread about 2-in-1 gaming machines, and the OmniBook X is no exception. The 8-core 15th Gen chip does run hot under sustained load, but HP's cooling design uses a dual-fan system that keeps temperatures in check for about an hour of continuous play before the fans spin up noticeably louder. In a typical gaming night, say, playing a few matches of *Apex Legends* with short breaks, the fan noise sits around 3840 dB, which is audible but not enough to drown out conversation. The downside is that after 2 hours of heavy rendering, the fan can become a bit more intrusive, and you'll definitely notice the laptop getting warmer on the underside. If you plan on long, uninterrupted sessions, a cooling pad is a worthwhile addition. Keyboard feel is another practical point that separates a just okay laptop from a good enough one. The OmniBook X keeps the traditional 1.4mm travel keys that many gamers appreciate, and the keys are slightly concave, reducing the chance of slipping during fast combos. There's a dedicated gaming mode toggle that disables the Windows key, which is a nice touch for streamers who don't want accidental Alt-Tab mishaps. However, the keyboard lacks a full-size numeric pad, so if you're used to using that for inventory shortcuts in MMOs, you'll need to rely on on-screen macros or external accessories. Battery life is often the Achilles heel of gaming laptops, and this model is no different. With a 68-wear, 4-cell pack, you can expect roughly 3 to 4 hours of mixed usage, some browsing, a bit of video editing, and a short gaming stint before you hit the wall. Once you dive into a game that pushes the GPU, the battery drops faster, and you'll be looking at the 65W charger more often than you'd like. That said, the inclusion of a USB-C power-in means you can keep it charged from a power bank if you're on the road, which is a practical workaround for gamers who need a little extra flexibility. Now, who should actually consider buying this machine? If you're a gamer who also needs a versatile device for creative work, think video editing, digital art, or even daily productivity, the OmniBook XS 2-in-1 hinge and the added tablet mode give you a solid compromise. The 32GB of onboard RAM and a massive 2TB PCIe NVMe SSD mean you won't be fighting storage constraints, and the Thunderbolt 4 port opens up the possibility of an external GPU if you ever feel the need for that extra horsepower. For students or professionals who want a single device that can handle both coursework and weekend raids, this laptop hits a sweet spot. Conversely, if you're a hardcore competitive gamer who lives for ultra-high frame rates, you'll likely feel limited by the 60Hz display and the modest fan performance. The same goes for anyone who expects to game for 8 hours straight without plugging in. In those cases, a more purpose-built gaming laptop, one with a 144Hz screen, a larger thermal solution, and a higher capacity battery will serve you better, even if the price tags climb higher. Turning to practical strengths, the built-in Wi-Fi 6E adapter is a quiet win. In testing, the connection stayed stable even when other devices were pulling bandwidth on the same network, which translates to fewer lag spikes in online matches. The HDMI port, while not